One, two, three, and...
Hi, my name is Angelo Lopez. I am a fine artist in the San Francisco Bay Area, and I have the deep honor and the pleasure to take today to speak to a good friend and a wonderful artist, Ketaki Adi. And today we will be talking about Ketaki's art as well as her participation in the Silicon Valley Open Studios. Welcome, Ketaki.
Thank you, Angelo. Thank you so much for inviting me to do this talk with you. I am so honored to be sitting here and talking to you today and talking about my art.
Oh,
And I just want to start by saying how much I admire you as an artist, as a cartoonist, and how much I love your artwork.
oh.
And hopefully someday we can reverse the roles and we can talk about you.
Oh, thank you. I'll give you your $20 after this talk. So I guess I'll start off by asking you, how did you become interested in art, and who are your artist heroes and heroines?
So, good question. Probably a bad answer. I don't know how I got interested in art.
Oh,
I have always been interested in art. Uh growing up in school, in elementary school, middle school, high school, I was always one who would be attracted to art projects and art competitions. If there was a competition, if I could participate, I would go, I would win. School art projects, school decoration projects. I was there.
oh,
So that's how I did a lot. I did a lot of art. I learned a lot of, you know, elementary school and high school art when I was growing up. Um, and then after high school, when I did my college and my engineering and my master's in engineering, that kind of took a step back. I always wanted to pursue it. Even through my engineering, I I am a computer vision engineer. So
Oh,
this image processing, computer vision, I was still very close to the world of art.
yeah,
So imaging and videos and all of that kind of stuff. So after when I moved to Bay Area and I saw so much art around me and I had the time, I I decided to restart.
oh,
So that was like after a gap of what 10, 15 years or so. And
yeah,
it was this was the time I decided I wanted to learn techniques that I hadn't done before. In India, I had used pastels and oil crayons and all that kind of stuff you do growing up. And
yeah,
a lot of we call it poster colors, but it's gouache paint mostly. I
oh,
had never done the transparent art, so I was very intrigued when I saw watercolor paintings
yeah.
and took a couple of community classes and learned the techniques. And that's how I got into it. I started painting again in 2009. I haven't stopped since.
But you're a good artist and stuff, so yeah, yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. Who are your heroes and stuff?
uh, uh, so heroes and heroines, I don't have like one or two ideal ones that whose
Oh,
art I follow or learn. But just to name a few, Van Gogh's work, I love some of his work because from learning the history, he used to paint what he saw.
yeah,
And I kind of connect with that because he painted a lot of emotion. For me, just the Starry Night is a very emotional painting. It's interesting to see what, how he could put into on canvas what he saw in his mind. And I
yeah,
have always struggled with that. Like I get there now. This is what I see in my mind. This is the patterns that go on in my mind. But um, other than that, I do love a lot of Art Nouveau artists.
oh,
Gustav Klimt.
oh,
I like the energy in his paintings. Like there are a lot of details, but if you look at it from afar, there's like a flow of color that goes through it. So
yeah,
that is
yeah,
what I love. I adore a lot of Indian folk art, and I mean, I have the highest respect for the current generation artists who are still preserving the very traditional, very typical art. There's so many little things to learn from each kind of tribal and folk art there.
yeah.
And then top of the list, my hero is the late Mangesh Tendulkar. He was a humorist and a cartoonist from Pune, where I live.
Oh,
I have met him a couple of times. He
wow,
actually he inaugurated my exhibition in India back in 2015.
wow.
Um, and I every day I try to remember what he said to me. He said, "You've picked up this paintbrush like after many, many years. Don't ever put it down
Right.
and experiment with your work. Don't be afraid to mix mediums and, just
Yeah.
try, make mistakes." And I think after that advice, my artwork took a better turn.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah. I think when you get to the point where you're correct, you feel confident to experiment. That's always
Mhm.
you see your art take leaps and bounds, right?
Right.
Yeah, yeah. It's cool that you met your hero. I got to learn more about Indian folk artists. I've talked to other
You
artists
should.
and they're always mentioning them, but I'm kind of stuck in this sort of American European art thing. And I got to expand my base to learn more because from what I've seen of your art and stuff, it's wonderful and stuff. So,
Thank you. Thank you.
okay.
And yes, you should. I mean, I know there is stuff on YouTube. There's also a lot of online courses that a lot of these
Oh,
artists do from India. And we are in the Bay Area. It has a big Indian community, and there's a ton of artists that do teach Indian art or do demonstrations. So
oh,
you're in a good place to learn all of
okay.
that.
Yeah, I just need to find the time and stuff. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm curious. You sort of mentioned this before. Your art does alcohol ink,
Hmm.
acrylic, and watercolor, right? Now, what do you like about each different medium?
So, like I said before, watercolors, I definitely love them for the transparency. Same with alcohol inks. I can make them work to be transparent as well as opaque. Um, I haven't done a lot of large watercolor pieces lately, but watercolor is an easy medium. It's still my go-to for outdoor work, or I have a tiny palette that I take with myself when I am going out of town, because
Uh,
that's what I do with my extra time.
oh, that's so cool. So you
uh,
take your paints with you when you travel.
yes, I do take my watercolors. I always have two or three colored pens in my purse. Always.
When I
I
travel and stuff, I'm just trying to leave my wife, Lisa. She gives me a map and says, "You find this place." So I don't have time
Plus,
to do my art.
you have your camera, Angelo. That's your art too.
Oh,
So,
yes. Okay.
but
Okay.
yeah, if I'm sipping coffee or something, I like to doodle. I always have colored pens with me.
Oh, that's smart.
Uh,
Yeah, that's smart. So I'm guessing you have a large stack of those books where you do the art, the watercolor.
so I don't have a large stack of books.
Oh,
I used to buy a lot of those watercolor sketchbook,
yeah,
uh,
yeah, yeah.
and and then doodle with pen in it. So I stopped doing that. Now I buy large sheets of watercolor. I just cut them. I carry all different sizes, like business card size, postcard size, and then whatever I feel like, I just pull it out and I just paint on it. It
Okay.
goes in those filing things, the plastic ones. I come home,
Um,
it goes there.
no, no, no. That's
Um,
smart. That's smart.
yeah,
I'm gonna try that myself.
yeah. And then I have actually seen some artists put those things on a ring and carry them instead of those sketchbooks. I love the sketchbooks. I have a few of them, but
Um,
I'm trying this. This is new.
yeah, no. Oh
I'm
no,
like,
it sounds less heavy, you know.
definitely,
Oh,
definitely. If I'm out for a couple of nights, I know I'm not going to fill a lot of pages in the sketchbook. So instead, you just take two sheets of paper and you're good.
that's smart and stuff because that was my one disadvantage with those sketchbooks. They're just heavy.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Otherwise, you're just restricted by the size you want to take. So,
Oh, okay. Okay.
uh,
Well,
other than that, continuing with your question, the acrylics, I love the boldness in the acrylics. Like you can see, this is a lot of my alcohol ink artwork. I have layered up with
yeah.
acrylics because they show up, you know,
Um, okay.
they're
At a
they're there
distance.
bright. And
Yeah.
I mean, I've never really done I've done very few realistic looking paintings in acrylic, but I use it more for like decorative work because again, it's bold.
Okay.
Alcohol inks, it's a whole different story.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
they have a mind of their own. So, and I think that's their best attribute. I mean, I let the inks guide me. Sometimes I try to bend them to what I see in my mind. Um, and then when I let them do their thing, then when they've done with their thing, I'd go back and I add elements to it with acrylics. Sometimes I'll layer up with another layer of alcohol ink. So I mean, the free flow is what I love about the alcohol inks. Another comparison point is with watercolors and acrylics. I can go back and correct some mistakes. With alcohol inks, I mean, depending on the paper, if I'm working with UPO paper, I can go back and correct something, but I love working with alcohol inks on canvas. And once they seep in, you use the mistake to your advantage and you make artwork out of it. So, then it's a feature, not a flaw.
Yeah, it's sort of an artist's version of jazz, right? Where jazz, you just go wherever.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
Um, Okay. Okay. You know, this sort of leads to my next question and stuff, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Now you do both abstract and realistic art, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, what do you want your art to communicate? And do you want your abstract art to communicate something different than your realistic art?
So yes, let's just say I used to do a lot of realistic art.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't anymore. I mean, now my realistic art is, uh, I mean, I just do it when I need to do it, like
Oh,
group art projects or commissions. I know, I mean, people like places they've gone to and they want me to paint it, and that is when I will, you have to cater to the customer. And,
yeah, yeah.
uh, but when I started working with watercolors, I was just learning. I was just learning all kinds of themes with it. So with watercolors, I have done still life and landscapes, seascapes. I've done florals. I've also done abstracts. But I think abstracts was the last thing I did because I was still learning. I was still opening up. My art was quite rigid. And that's when I was really good at doing realistic art because I could paint what I saw. Um, I don't, I never thought about what my realistic art was trying to tell people other than the fact that, hey, I've been to this place or something like that. But
Yeah,
I
yeah,
used to paint a lot from my own pictures. So
yeah,
there is that. So, but that realistic art helped me understand perspective and understand a lot of things like composition.
yeah,
Um, that study of that realistic art uh, made me a better painter with abstract art. So,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I'm not going to discount that realistic art. But it was a very big stepping stone.
Sort of like your
Um,
foundation. You learned your craft and your
of
foundation
course,
from the realistic
yes,
art. Okay.
yes, because I mean, I, I did not study art in school, so
Yeah,
but that that engineering definitely helped with the realistic art, and that realistic art is helping me with the abstract art today. As for my abstracts, I it's not a lot of haphazard, any just throw paint kind of painting with me.
oh,
For
okay.
me, abstracts have a definition. Abstracts have a composition. They have a
Yeah,
perspective. They
yeah,
have depth. They have hues and colors, and again
oh,
composition, but color
yeah,
composition. So what I've realized is, and this is for me, this is not me communicating with others yet. So
yeah,
for myself, abstract art allows me to put a lot of thoughts and emotions onto the canvas.
yeah,
Um, things that I see, the energy that flows when I close my eyes, the colors that I see, I can pour it on canvas or paper. But
yeah,
that's that's why I love doing abstract art. And I mean, I have done it in watercolors, I've done it in acrylics, I've done it in alcoholics, and it is all the same. That I can actually portray what I see, what I
yeah,
feel, and uh, what I want what I want to communicate with it is my thoughts and feelings, and what I would like for people or my viewers is to look at the art, feel the flow, invoke their own thoughts and feelings, right?
oh,
Because I might be feeling something and you might be feeling something totally different from what I was feeling. So I don't want it to be restrictive.
yeah. Oh, okay. So it sounds like your abstract art is a little bit inward, right? Whereas, like I know with me, when I do realistic art, I love doing realistic art, but I only do it if somebody wants me to, or if I need to do a
Same.
gift,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Whereas my cartoons is actually my great joy and stuff. But I'm different than you. I'm very tight and stuff. I like the fact that you can go both loose and tight, and you know you can kind of alternate between the two. I can't. Every time I do a loose style, I hate it. You know, I always think, God, this looks so bad. So I always go back. I think I like the fact that even though you started out tight, you find a new freedom in doing
Mhm.
loose work. Is that true or no?
It definitely is. I mean, when I started doing watercolors, it took me years to get loose in my paintings. Like
Yeah.
you look up watercolor art online, and there are these beautiful bouquets of flowers where not a single flower is defined, but it
Yeah.
looks so good. It's so loose, and I would go like, oh, I'm trying this, but there's a definite line there. I don't know what I'm doing. It took a while to,
Yeah.
just drop more water on the paper. Let's just say that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Well,
once I did that, the shapes started emerging, the shapes that wasn't planning, and I realized that I can work with these. I don't have to restrict the paint, or I I don't have to restrict the paint. That's that.
yeah. Yeah. It sounds like you were once a classical musician and now you become a jazz musician, right?
I will take your word for it.
Oh,
I'm
no,
not a musician.
some artist told me that one time, and it's always stuck in my mind and stuff. Is that certain artists are more like
That's a
classical
good
musicians,
analogy.
where everything's note by note already
Hmm.
prepared,
Hmm.
and some artists are like jazz musicians, where they just go wherever their mind
Right.
takes them to and stuff. And it sounds like you become more in terms of your art, you become more
Definitely.
jazz and stuff. So.
Definitely.
Oh, okay, okay. Now, you mentioned this before, but how has your Indian heritage influenced your art?
So when I think of India, I
Okay.
think color. It's just so
Oh,
colorful. You walk out on the streets, and if you if you look, people are wearing bright colors.
oh yeah,
Um, the festivals, the weddings, it's so colorful, and I feel that happiness when I see all that color.
yeah,
Um, and that's what I do. I paint like an explosion of color, bright colors, subdued colors. It's all there. Um, that's my connection, because when I close my eyes and I remember India, it's it's colorful.
yeah,
Other than that, I wouldn't say I have learned, but I've dabbled and taken tutorials for a lot of Indian folk art, and I
oh,
use a lot of those motifs in my artwork, like simple things like paisleys or the lotus. You can see those little things in my art.
yeah.
So that's the connection.
Oh, okay. I've noticed some Indian art is very detailed and stuff. Um,
Yes.
and I remember telling because I do detail work too, but if you notice my glasses, it's not been very good for my eyes and stuff. So when you if you I don't think I've seen many of your I've seen a few, but not a lot of your Indian influenced work and stuff. Is there some of your work kind of more detailed and stuff? And if you do detail, do you do it big to save your
Uh,
eyes?
I was getting there. I don't do a lot of detailed big artwork,
Okay.
or not yet. I'm actually planning to do something for my house, but again, it might be a combination of a lot of abstract with little details. So I have little things. I definitely don't have big detailed work, but I do a lot of pen work.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
it stays in a notebook.
Is it more okay, my stuff tends to be tight. I do more when you do your ink and stuff, is it more sketchy and stuff when you do it in your notebooks and stuff or
So that's pen.
yeah.
Like, I mean, when I do Indian kind of art, I do it with um, pens or tiny brush. So definitely tight, a lot of repetitive patterns, more like henna work.
Oh,
Um,
okay, okay, okay.
yeah, and a lot of other motifs from nature, like peacocks and flowers and birds. And
Oh. Okay.
I
Okay.
do them usually much smaller pieces.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, that's the thing I like about you. You're so diverse. If you no, I mean, if you look at two of your paintings, some person who doesn't know you may not realize it's the same artist doing both.
I see that. Yep, yep. That's very, very different styles, definitely.
Oh, okay. 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 Now I'm wondering, okay, speaking of size, okay, you've done murals
Hmm.
and you've done art for utility boxes, right?
Right.
Now, what was that experience like doing those public art projects? Did you like, was it an enjoyable experience or?
I love doing that. I absolutely love doing that. I was so skeptical and so afraid of just when I brought the project to the club, I was so afraid that how am I going to achieve this huge mural? The first mural I did was with the Sunnyvale Art Club. You were there,
Was that your very
and
first one?
that was the very first mural. Yes,
Yeah, but you were doing
and
two murals at the same time.
I was doing three.
Oh,
So
three. Oh, I forgot. So those were your very first murals.
those were my very
Oh, I
first
didn't know
murals,
that. I
and
thought you'd done them before, but yeah,
I
they're wonderful and stuff. Yeah.
thank you. So Laila Jamalos was the manager, and I learned so much from her. She
Uh-huh.
pushed me because I looked at the size and I was like, I don't know, I have to go back to the art club and see
Yeah.
who can help because I didn't know anyone who had done like a 14 by 20 mural.
Oh, you
And
should have asked me.
I thought I did. I think I
They
did.
did.
So,
Oh no, I helped you in one of them, right?
yeah. So I mean, the Sunnyvale Art Club mural, I think we had like 12 artists work on that, which was
Oh,
nice. Like doing a huge thing with the group and, climbing on those lifts and painting
yeah,
high at 14 feet. It was a whole different experience. Like
yeah.
art doesn't have to be restricted to the movement of my elbows and wrists. Art can be like movement of
Yeah, no, no. I
I'm
found that
going
out
up and
too.
down, running around. And
Yeah.
I I also got a chance to do the two slightly smaller ones. Those are 12 by 12 feet by 5 feet with Kanchan, and it was just amazing, just connecting with artists. And as you know, there were like 20 other artists other than the art club doing murals
Yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah.
It was a good networking experience. You could see the struggle everyone had. You could see how they were overcoming that. Like, how do you draw on this wall this size? Oh, your project. I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah. I was the same way. When I first started doing a mural, I had no idea what to do. I'd look up library books. How did they do this and stuff? What is the right paint? Should I gesso the wall? All of that stuff that you guys I had the very exact same thing and stuff. But the one thing I learned is I loved it. I loved
Yeah.
it was fun paint. If I could earn money just doing murals, I would just do murals and stuff because it's just so much fun and stuff,
It
right?
is definitely so much fun. And the second experience, it was the same year, but I was
Oh,
selected for doing a live mural. I was one of the five artists doing a live mural
oh yeah, yeah,
at the
yeah.
state of the city in Sunnyvale.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, the murals at the fairgrounds, you had your privacy. We used to work like until 1 p.m., 1 a.m. at night, and nobody was judging you while you were doing it. We had
Yeah,
a whole month or more to finish it. This was you finish your work in 5 hours,
yeah,
start
yeah.
to finish. And I was doing it alone. And
Um,
I just I was like, what if I don't finish? But the the city officials are awesome. They were like, you can come back and finish it. We just want people to see it.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah.
but I did it. I finished it in 5 hours and I was so happy with my work. And it's been on display in Sunnyvale since since September
Okay.
2019.
Where is it now?
And it is in the community center right now,
Oh, oh,
but
oh, okay. Okay.
uh, they might be taking it down in May. because
Yeah.
those murals were supposed to be up only for a year. We got
Oh,
5 years.
no,
And
no, no.
uh,
They're wonderful murals. I think the only thing I always wondered is how do you protect it from the sun? Did you have a
so
lacquer and stuff or?
uh, the city did that for us. I didn't have to do the varnishing. The city did that uh, and then mounted the murals up. So, but yes, they did have a lacquer on it.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and
I'm a slow painter, so I'm impressed that you were able to do that in 5 hours because that's a huge space.
yes, it was 8 feet by 8 feet. I was surprised myself that I was able to do it in 5 hours.
Oh, okay.
And uh, that mural is actually going to a friend's restaurant, and then it'll be up
Oh,
there. So
okay. Oh, hey, congratulations. Yeah, yeah,
thank
yeah.
you. And then I also did the electrical box in San Jose,
Oh,
and
okay.
that was so amazing. I mean, I thought I'm doing an electrical box on a corner. There will be cars passing by. Who's gonna stop and talk to me? But so many people stopped. So many
Yeah,
people. I mean, it was so nice. People were so appreciative of the fact that
yeah.
this plain, boring box will look bright and nice, and we
I
get
had
to
the
see it
exact
from our apartment,
Yeah, yeah, I had the
right?
exact same experience when I was doing twice when I was doing the utility boxes. People were so friendly to me. They offered me drinks and food and stuff, it was
Yes,
nice.
yes, same. I was right in front of a small housing complex,
Oh, yeah.
and and there actually was one grandma who used to always just watch me from the window, and whenever I just happened to look up, she would go. And then there was a dad son duo. I think they must be working in construction or something, because they used to come home in the evening with these boots and hats, and
Yeah, yeah,
every single day they offered me water, and it was just so nice
yeah,
talking to people, and it
yeah.
it was amazing. And yeah, coming back to your mural, I see yours more than I see mine, the one in Campbell,
Oh,
because I shop at the Whole Foods, and
yeah,
I'm just so happy every time I see it, or
yeah.
every time I drive by. I just have to glance at it.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, thank you.
Yeah,
I
it
didn't.
makes me happy.
Yeah, it was the exact same thing and stuff. I'm curious though. The second mural I did it in the summer when the weather was
Hmm.
hot
Hmm.
and stuff. And so I always had to drink water. But after you drink water, I have to use the bathroom. So I'd
Uh-huh.
have to take my paints, put it back in my car, drive
Right?
to my condo, use the bathroom, then come back, take the paints out and stuff. Did you have a problem with that, or were you painting? Were you painting in cold weather or hot?
I was painting in November, so
Oh,
I finished early December. So um, it was colder. I had to plan between the rain, so I was like on the
oh.
weather app all the
See, I was lucky. I didn't have to
time.
worry about rains. I just had to work. I just had to, gosh, the next time I do a mural, I got to make sure it's near a bathroom. That was my,
Yeah, so no bathroom. I had to go home because this was the South University neighborhood. There were no bathrooms
oh,
close
okay.
by, so I just planned like chunks of time. Just go home for lunch, come back. It wasn't far. It was 15 minutes from home. So
Yeah,
I just had everything on a cart. I would just put the cart in the car and just go home.
yeah, yeah. I'm not sure
But
why
yeah,
artists don't do that more often because it was just fun. You get to talk to the community.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Okay. So, Kataki, one last thing I wanted to ask. Will you be pursuing if another mural or utility box art project comes along, would you accept that opportunity and stuff or
I I have applied to a couple. I keep looking for them. I wouldn't say very actively looking for them. Like I went through some pain with carpal tunnel, and also I fractured my right thumb last year. So I
okay.
had to take a step back and just, decide to not do that. But I will definitely be looking for opportunities
Okay.
because I have loved doing
Yeah.
these a few years back.
Yeah, I love it too and stuff. If I wasn't caregiving for my dad and my mother-in-law, I'd
Hmm.
be looking. Once, I want both of them to live a long life and stuff. But
Definitely.
yeah, but I'm that's preventing me from doing more of that stuff. But once I get the time, I would love to do more and stuff. So okay, okay, but this is not. Yeah, I do. Just to make sure, I want them to live long. So
Of course.
so
Knock
yeah,
on
but
wood.
yeah, so but okay, next question and stuff. Okay. You are a former board member and a former president of the Sunnyvale Art Club. Now, from your vantage point, what are the benefits that you see in an artist being a part of an art community?
So I have been with the Sunnyvale Art Club for a decade now,
Yeah.
and for the larger portion of that time, also a board member. Um,
Okay.
as far as benefits go, it's a give and take relationship. I feel every artist brings something to the club, and every artist takes a lot of things from the club. It, I mean, I love the Sunnyvale Art Club. When I joined, I I didn't know why I was joining. It's like, oh, it's a group of artists. Oh, I let's go sit in for a meeting. And I was hooked. And the art club welcomed me with such open arms. And I was just that first meeting, I met Mary Dobbeck and Chris McDonough, and it was just wow, I want to be around these people because
Yeah.
look at so much art. The monthly competition was going on, and
Yeah.
it was just so beautiful. So, um, I mean, I have looked at everybody's art. I have learned so much from just watching people present their art. And, I've had the opportunity to see a lot of our artists in action doing their artwork, and
Oh,
just so amazing. I mean, while we don't have it's not a teaching art club, but if you're open to absorbing what you're seeing, it's an amazing place to be.
yeah.
The demos that the art club presents every month, really good, really great. Really, it's nice to hear in person from so many different kinds of artists.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, as to being a part of the board, it's it was a fulfilling experience. Like as a part of the board, you talk to city officials, you talk to commercial establishments, you talk to other nonprofit organizations, you bring the opportunities to the club. I have like planned and uh, organized so many exhibits with other board members, other club members, and it's been a really good learning experience. And in the last few years, I was a senior advisor on the club. It's been really great training newer artists to be
Yeah.
on the board.
Yeah.
It's
It's kind of
it's
cool to
it's
be.
great.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of because for a lot of these artists, this is the first time they've ever exhibited their art in public.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was amazing. Like, nobody was forcing you to do it, but you still had these little opportunities like displaying in cafes and
Yeah.
entering one or two pieces in our exhibits, or even just the monthly meetings. That group of 30 or 40 people are going to see your art, but it's still more people than your household has. So that that's where you start, right? That's where you start. You're
Yeah.
getting votes for your artwork, and then you know where it stands. I mean, I hate the competition. I don't like comparing one person's art to other, but it's still a place where you're putting it in front of the public.
Yeah.
Um, and and then you're putting it in commercial establishment like cafes and shops and
Yeah.
the mayor's office. I have displayed my artwork in the mayor's office so many times. I have
Oh, he's a good mayor
and
too. He's a very supportive mayor of art.
he and yeah, I mean, thanks to him, the art club got the fairgrounds project. He suggested our name to the fairgrounds for the Sunnyvale mural. So
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I thought yeah. The thing that I like is that, you know, if you go to a museum, a few
Hmm.
people in the museum will see it and stuff, and that's a wonderful opportunity or a gallery. But the places that the Sunnyvale Art Club exhibits their work, a library, this both the Sunnyvale and the Santa Clara Library,
Yeah, and
the
then
Art and
the
Wine
art and wine
Festival,
fairs.
the various coffee shops and the Red Rock Cafe, the Bean Scene. Those are people who normally don't have access to art. And so, 1,000 people in the Sunnyvale Art Club, in the Sunnyvale Public Library Art Show,
Hmm.
at Santa Clara, probably similar numbers, probably more because it's there for a
Yeah,
month and stuff. And so, you know, it's not just the fact that it's exhibited, but it's exhibited to a large number of people and stuff.
right.
That's the cool thing and stuff. Yeah. And the people are nice and stuff. And even, you know, I think it's people don't usually think of Silicon Valley as a place for art. But then
Hmm.
when you're actually in a club, you realize, God, there are a ton of artists here. Yeah.
Well, and then the Silicon Valley Visual Arts, the
Yeah.
organization that organizes SVOS. It's like, oh, boom, I knew so many artists because of the art club. I have a whole list of people that we could invite for demo, but this is like way beyond.
Yeah,
And
yeah. Well, when I used to do the when I actually I kept the Sunnyvale, the Open Studios booklet, and I would just because they have phone numbers and emails, I would just
right.
contact them, and if they were interested, because just to make it a more diverse demo thing and stuff. So yeah. Speaking of Sunnyvale, are you finished yet with this question?
Yeah.
Okay, so since you mentioned Silicon Valley Open Studios, you are participating in it this year, right? So I have a two-part question for you. Okay. The
Mhm.
first part, what is Silicon Valley Open Studios? And the second part, when will you be participating in Silicon Valley
Mhm.
Open Studios? And where will you be participating?
Uh, to answer your first question, Silicon Valley Open Studios is open studios. Open studios is where artists open up their studios to the public.
Yeah,
And uh, in this particular instance, what artists like to do is group a number of people so that, when there is more art, there is more chance of people coming to look at it. And they have been doing this for years. Like I said, the Silicon Valley Visual Arts is the organization that organizes the SVOS or the Open Studios.
yeah,
They artists register to show through them. They do the advertising. They have a beautiful magazine, like you said, with
yeah,
contact information. The website is amazing. There are
yeah,
some artists who do only the online open studios, like they
yeah.
wouldn't have a place to show it in person, but it's amazing. Just scrolling to the website, I've spent hours just scrolling through the website. And it's nice. This is my first year doing it, so I will definitely learn more after this experience.
Oh,
And I am absolutely looking forward to meeting a lot of artists. Um, I am myself participating 2 weekends. The SVOS runs over 3 weekends. The first weekend, they focus on the northern side, San
oh,
Francisco,
yeah.
Pacifica, Daly City, San Mateo. The second weekend is Palo Alto, Los Altos, Redwood City, and surrounding area.
Okay.
And the third weekend is South Bay. So I am doing the first weekend in Pacifica.
Okay.
It's with a group of three other artists, and I will be showing at Art Space on the coast. It's a quaint little pottery studio, and they have a storefront.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay.
it's absolutely beautiful. And the person that owns it, Jennifer, she has me and two other artists uh, doing the SVOS with her over
Okay.
there. The it's May 4 and 5, 11 to 5.
Okay.
And the address for that is 2021 Palmetto Avenue, Pacifica. It's super close to the pier and it's a beautiful studio. And it's so good. Like I could sit hours in that studio.
Oh,
And,
okay. Yeah.
this particular weekend, uh, it's a diverse group. I have paintings. I also have pendants that I've made with alcohol ink paintings.
Oh, okay.
I so there's some jewelry. There will be woodworking. There will be pottery, and there will be also some watercolor art. So
Okay.
I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
curious. Do you
mhm.
because I know when I do my when I used to have my receptions, you had food, right? I had food. Are you gonna have food there too, a serving, I guess, or is it more like a reception and stuff, or is it
It totally depends on the gallery or
oh,
the
okay.
studio.
Okay.
This is a storefront,
Oh,
so I think we are planning to have some packaged finger food, but
oh,
not
okay.
like a whole art reception kind of thing.
Okay. I was hoping you'd do some of your cakes and stuff. So.
I am busy with this.
Oh,
But for the other weekend that I'm doing, we are bringing some finger food because we expect a lot more people to show up at Sunnyvale, and it's going to be a warmer weekend. So we will have water, we will have a
yeah,
table food of food like not unlike we had in the Sunnyvale Art Club
yeah, yeah, yeah.
juried exhibits, right? So that way. So weekend two, I'm not doing it. It's Mother's Day weekend. I want to spend the day with the family. But
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
the weekend three, which is 18th and 19th, I am going to be exhibiting in Sunnyvale with a group of 7 other artists. We are calling it the Spectrum of Art. It is at site 157, which is Pragati Sharma's studio.
Oh, okay.
Um, and the address is 1583 Meadowlark Lane in Sunnyvale.
Okay.
And uh, there we are going to have a lot of paintings, collage work, jewelry, silk scarves.
Oh,
Um, yeah, I think some sculptures, but yes, a lot of varied art in both places.
oh,
So
okay.
yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. And
Yeah.
I'm hoping some of the club members will show up for the Sunnyvale one. So I know a lot of art club members are actually doing SVOS this year,
Yeah.
and I feel bad that I won't be able to go see it because I'm
You're stuck
exhibiting
in
at the
your
same
studio.
time. And yeah.
Oh no, but it's a first experience, so that's wonderful
Yes.
and stuff. So when the Sunnyvale Art Gallery was along, was there open studios then too, or I don't remember, or no?
I don't remember either. I no,
I
I
have a
don't.
vague memory that there was one and stuff, but I'm trying to think and stuff because there were so many group art shows in the Sunnyvale Art Gallery. I don't remember if there was actually an open studios there or not. If there was, that would have been a great
No,
idea.
I used to volunteer there a lot during the weekdays,
Yeah.
but I never volunteered on the weekends. So I I wouldn't know. I mean, I don't remember any prep work going on when I was volunteering there. But again, it could
Yeah,
have
you
been
would you
not
would know a
May
lot more
because
than yeah, you
yeah.
would know a lot more than I would and stuff. I'd go there and stuff, but it was just because you would meet the most unusual, poets, artists, singers, dancers, and
Right?
stuff. Yeah, I kind of miss it now because it used to be this wonderful thing where you'd meet these unexpected people and it was so cool, right? And stuff. But I think it's the same thing with open studios. If you go to them and stuff, you're gonna think, wow. I didn't realize these artists were here in the
Uh-huh.
Bay Area, right? And stuff.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
that's my plan. The second weekend that I'm not doing, I'm actually gonna go visit a few places on Saturday.
Oh, for Mother's Day. Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
I mean, no, for or even to meet the artist, right? Because when I'm exhibiting, I'm only meeting that little group of artists, but I
Yeah.
want to go around and I want to see it too, because I love going to I love going SVOS hopping.
Yeah. I'm that way too and stuff. When my wife and I used to go to the open studios. I think we still will, but yeah, for like I said, like, with the caregiving and stuff, it kind of we're kind of stuck and it's not stuck, but we just we won't have the time. But at some point and stuff, maybe we can take one of our parents with us to go open
Right.
studios and stuff. That would be nice. But
Yeah.
yeah, I just found it like, wow. I would have never thought going through this neighborhood and stuff that
Hmm.
there would be an artist here and stuff. And when you look at their art, you think, wow, this is great art and stuff.
Yeah. It's the same thing with the South First Fridays and all that because
Oh,
I
and
have I
San
have
Jose. Yeah.
yeah, I have exhibited uh in a couple of galleries there, but then you go there and you realize, oh, there's another studio like 3 blocks from here,
Yeah.
or right if you take a right turn, oh, I see artists unloading over there. Like
Oh, okay. Now, what
which is
galleries
interesting.
have you been exhibiting in San Jose?
Uh, I I did it with the art arc, and actually the curator of the works with him, I did it with in the Mexican Heritage Plaza.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's cool. I
That
didn't
was
know.
actually a month-long one. That wasn't a part of the first Fridays, but it was for the Day of the Dead celebrations last year.
Oh, okay. Have you heard of Chopsticks Alley Art Gallery?
Through you,
Oh,
yes.
okay. Okay. Apply. What
Will
whenever
do.
when they have the next exhibition, apply because your work would be good for and you're Indian American and stuff, right? So and their specialty is promoting Asian American art and stuff.
Uh,
So I think with me, I think because I do these kind of cartoony paintings a lot and stuff, I have to find because they do their exhibitions by theme and stuff.
oh,
And
okay.
yeah, so if you have artwork that fits that particular theme and stuff, your work would be great. I love Chopsticks Alley art, but not all of my art fits their themes.
Got it.
So I have to look at the exhibition and find out, does any of my art actually fits this theme or not and stuff. So yeah,
I think every artist goes through that, right? Oh, there's an exhibition, there's a call for art, and then like, does it fit the theme? Because I've
yeah,
seen a lot of calls for landscapes, and I'm like, oh, I don't have that.
yeah. I
It's
don't
an
really have
easy
any
decision.
landscape.
I don't have to apply there.
Yeah. No, actually, I've seen one of you. Did you do one with like a sunset rising, the sun rising and stuff? Um,
I have done a few, but that's kind of old art now. Like
oh, okay.
I when I'm displaying, I don't really go back to paintings from 2010 and enter them.
Yeah, because you've grown
That's
as an artist since then, right? Yeah, I'm
and I
curious.
mean those might be nice for people to look at, but when I am entering a exhibit, I'm thinking, oh, fresh art, the things that I do know, the things that
Yeah,
I think are better. That is the stuff that goes on exhibit.
yeah. Because you have past painting. I'm curious. With me, one of the problems I have is just that I don't have room for all of my paintings.
I don't have room.
Where do you store it? I'm kind of curious and stuff. I mean, because with me, I apply for art shows just because my wife, Lisa, she wants me to have space in our house and stuff.
Yes.
So she wants me to enter as much as possible so my paintings won't be in the house. You know. Yeah.
No, a lot of it is in the garage. There's a few
Oh,
pieces here and there on my walls. Like my walls only have my artwork and my kids. Like
oh,
I don't
okay.
but a lot of it is just in the garage.
Okay. So, okay. Well, thank you very much for letting me know about the exhibitions and stuff. So,
Mhm.
okay. Is there anything else you want to add about your part in the Silicon Valley Open Studios before I go to the next question?
No, I probably will have a lot more to add after I go through my first experience of exhibiting
Oh
with
yeah,
them.
yeah,
But
because you've never done it
yeah,
before, right?
I've
Oh,
never done it.
okay. So, okay. Well, maybe we can do another talk later and you can tell us about your
Yeah.
experience. Okay. Well, okay. This will be our last question and stuff. Okay. what do you love about art, and what advice would you give to a beginning artist?
Your first question is kind of a difficult question because what's not to love about art?
Oh,
But
yeah,
but for me, I love the structure and I love the playfulness. Like it sounds like two very different things, but when they come together, like that's like amazing art for me. So
okay.
that's what I love, that
Oh, okay.
bring in the playfulness with the structure. That's kind of the thing. Like when I talked about my abstract art, it may look like I did not put a lot of effort in it, but I do put a lot of effort in it. Like I'm gonna show you the littlest art. I've been making these pendants, I'm trying to get it to too much
Oh,
light,
yeah, yeah,
too much light. But even these little sizes, they are they have a composition going in them. So
yeah, yeah,
that's what I like. Art can be a varied art. Each it has a different meaning for each person. What uh, it's a vast field, like I have said before, but what
yeah,
each person can take from it or give to it is very different. Everyone can have their own experience, and that is what I love.
yeah.
And
Yeah, I talked about it with a previous artist. When a person sees something in your art that that you didn't think about, it, it enriches the artist as well as the viewer, because
yes,
they see things in my art or your art that, oh wow, and that I didn't know that was there. So the next time I do an art piece, I'm thinking of something that I never thought of.
yes,
Is that what you're talking about, or kinda, or?
uh, yes, but also, like each person with their own art, what they take from it or what they give to it,
Oh,
it's so different.
yeah.
Like, look, you're an artist, I'm an artist. Look how different our artwork
Yeah, I know. No, but I have a
is.
deep respect for abstract art. You're mentioning that it may look easy, but it's actually different, because I've learned that myself when I've tried to do abstract art. It is hard and stuff to make
It
a
is hard.
good abstract. Like when somebody sees a Jackson Pollock, some people put him down and think it's easy. Try doing an abstract art
Oh
like
yeah,
Jackson Pollock. It's not that easy and stuff.
no.
Yeah, I have a deep respect for abstract artists. I think partly because I don't know how to do it myself, but because I guess it's not as easy as it looks. In order to make a beautiful looking abstract art, that's not easy and stuff. So I'm glad you made that point.
Yeah. And I mean, as an artist, you have to get to a point where you are okay with discarding pieces, right? Because the
Yeah,
pieces I show, of course, there's not an equal number of pieces I discard, but 1 in 10, no one sees it. It's just it's in the discard pile because like you said, there is also bad abstract art that doesn't need to see the light of day.
yeah, 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 and stuff. So, oh, okay. So, would you have any advice for somebody who's a beginning artist?
Of course, definitely. Like practice, practice, practice.
Yeah,
Because you can't just do a couple of paintings or any kind of artwork and then boom. I mean, it might happen for some, but you get better each time you do it. So, and just like any other thing, right? Practice is important. Um, and if I were to speak from my experience, learn the basics. If you're starting out with a medium, it's I've done it too. You just start, you just try. You
yeah,
might like it, you might hate it, but learn the basics. Learn what other people do.
yeah,
And right now in this day and age, it's super easy to learn. You go to YouTube, there's a ton of videos. It's confusing, but
yeah,
it's there. You can learn the techniques,
yeah,
and once you know the techniques, it's much easier to apply it and then find your own voice.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So always, and once you find your own voice, you don't have to stop there. You might have a different voice also. So
Yeah. Yeah.
just keep doing it, keep at it, and keep experimenting, because that's what I've been doing.
Yeah, yeah. I know that artist that gave you that advice, that is great advice. And it sounds
That is
like,
amazing advice.
yeah, you really followed that advice. But I think you're right. Learn your craft, and then after you learn your craft,
Mhm.
it frees you to experiment and stuff.
Right, right, and to apply it. And you know, if you want to stick with that, stick with that. But one other piece of advice is find groups near you to network with. It could
Uh,
be plein air, it could be art clubs, it could be SVOS, but you know, the more you see from other people, whether you like their art, not like their art, that's a whole different thing. Whether you connect with them, it's also, but you know, as people, you connect with people, you connect with like-minded artists.
yeah,
And this is mostly for people who want to bring their art to the public, right?
yeah,
So this is this networking with artists and art studios and art galleries, it's just find the smallest group you can find, and you know, you will find opportunities through them.
Oh, okay. That's great advice. Thank you. Thank you.
Mhm.
So, okay. So, thank you very much for for taking the time to talk to me today. And I hope, that a lot of your first open studios experience will be a wonderful one, and that many
I
people
hope
will
so
visit
too.
and stuff. But no, I think it will. You're a wonderful artist and stuff. It's just, I think people need to see your art and stuff. And once they do, the people who love your art will, you'll develop a loyal cult-like fan base.
Oh, I hope so.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you very much and stuff. So,
Thank you, Angela. Thank you. Thank you again for this opportunity, and you know, letting me advertise my SVOS venues through you.
oh, sure. Thank you very much.